Da, da, da. Good morning, artists. Happy Wednesday, hump day. We got some sun coming in through my basement window, creating beautiful light backdrop for us today. I'm looking forward to it getting warmer and being able to open up some windows and just enjoy some fresh air for a little bit. So yesterday we finished up our circle drawing, and all those videos are now up on the site on Classroom, so you can get all the information there. See, a few people are already starting to turn it in. That's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it, and the ones I've seen so far have been pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more artwork and hopefully getting to send some of it to our announcement makers so we can add you guys to the shout outs next week. That would be really fun to see some more artwork up on our school site. So today we're going to be just doing a little art hangout. You're going to be doing some art with me. We're going to actually continue the series I've been working on of characters based on the planets. So if you've missed those earlier ones, these were the first ones done. So we got our sun and moon. The original design for the moon was from a commission I had. I paid an artist friend of mine to come up with a cool design for a moon character, and I'll have to show you her original one eventually. I want to get like a really nice print of it. So she came up with a lot of the design on her, and then I kind of played around with it, made it my anime style, and created our sun lady to kind of match with her. And then show and tell. Here were the ones that we've been working on more recently. Our adorable little Mercury here, since planet Mercury is the smallest. Venus, lovely in the center. Lots of light colors, since Venus, the planet, is covered in lots of different clouds. And of course, our Earth lady on the side there. I had a lot of fun kind of coming up with. She was a little bit more challenging than some of the other ones I've done, but I think she came out pretty cool. Now, we're going to do Planet Mars. So before I get started on that, one little change I want to make sure you're kind of clear on. I have, instead of my usual mug, I busted out my giant, beautiful thermos full of tea today. The only funny thing is that the straw doesn't attach on the inside quite as well as I'd like it to. So what ends up happening is when I go for tea, it makes noise. So I wanted to just get this out of the way because it's ridiculous, and I know you're going to end up hearing this at some point during the stream, and I don't want you guys to be like, what is going on in the background there? This is the sound that my tea makes when I drink it. You hear that? Oh, it's good. I've got lemon in there today. So if I pause for tea break and you hear that is me drinking tea. So just to have that out of the way. So I've got a picture of the planet Mars up here on my screen. I've got all my supplies ready to go, and I don't know. Let's have some fun. Let's swing you around here. Okay. I'm gonna start you off kind of high to make sure we can get the whole thing in here. Turn our music up a little. Yeah. Pleasant background. So, a couple things. Since this is a series of work, that means that the characters have to have some things in common. So some of the stuff that we've been seeing a lot of on all of these, and I'll just pull these guys back up for now so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. They all have some kind of a crown, whether it's just a little headband type or something that's a little bit taller. Even the other ladies, they had their crowns as well. Some of them with cool details with the hair poking through. Some of them, again, just tall and covered. They all have some kind of a repeating pattern or design. So like on the sun, it was these triangles to kind of mimic the points of the sun. Our moon lady had circles for like a full moon. On both Mercury and Venus, both of them, their planet's symbol, like the symbol for their planet, which we've been trying to kind of incorporate that in as well. Mercury and Venus, they're pretty similar designs. So in Mercury, I have a couple different ways that showed up. The crown itself has the circle, the little kind of horn type shapes, and then this shape kind of mimicking the plus sign underneath. And then all her little designs are either this kind of half circle design or this plus sign. So they're all kind of mimicked throughout there. I hear somebody. I have a visitor. Who is it? Oh, come here. Come say hi. Hold on, guys. We have a visitor. Who's that? Is it Wiley? Wiley, what's this? Wiley, come here. What's this? He's more interested right now in in a mousetrap. Wiley, come here. Come here. Nope. He's doing his thing today, apparently. Sorry, guys. You only get like a quick preview of the dog. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So all their designs are kind of mimicking this pattern. So her having these kind of square designs is meant to kind of be similar to this lower part of her symbol. I didn't want to make it too exact to little Mercury there. And then for Earth, the official symbol for the planet Earth is a circle with a plus through it. So that's what you see on the top here. You see that circle and this plus design that go into a cool little tree shape. And then she's got this repeating kind of leaf pattern, and then the tree shows up. And even on her skirt here, it's kind of like a half circle happening with the plus in it as well that goes into more like roots. So we've got the roots at the bottom and the tree at the top. Lots of these little repeated designs. Bangles are kind of a repeated design. So all of that. Cool, cool, cool. So that means for our new character, we're going to need to have all those things in mind. We need to have repeated patterns in mind, and we need to incorporate the symbol in some way. So the symbol for Mars is a circle with an arrow. Did I get that on screen all right? There we go. Circle with an arrow. Now I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, I know that the symbol for Venus was meant to be like a mirror, almost like Venus's mirror. And I'm pretty sure that the symbol for Mars is meant to be a kind of like a sword and shield idea, which is pretty cool because Mars, named after the Roman god of war in Greek, that was Ares. So, I already had a few little thoughts for this. So number one, let's get kind of a pose started. I want Mars to be a little more ferocious seeming. I'm not going to go full on like armor and whatnot. It's a little bit too high on the page. Hello. I don't want to make them too big either. I want to try and keep her the same size as some of the other characters, especially Earth and Venus, since all those planets are similar-ish in size. Actually, as I think about it, I'm going to move it over a little. Girl gonna need some space. So the other thing I've been playing with in these designs is not wanting to be too stereotypical. So I want to keep in mind kind of the attributes of the planets, but I also want to do something kind of fun and new at the same time. We're going to give her a slightly more masculine figure. And let's see. She's going to have a bit of a power stance. So we got a lot of hip action on some of the others. Let's even do... I'm thinking of including a spear, but none of the others really have any kind of item. So let's skip that for now. Power stance. Hands toward the hips. I gave her kind of a thicker neck, but it's almost too much now. There we go. Okay. Halfway on the legs, that's where the knees will be. I'm kind of exaggerating her legs right now, making them a little bit wider. I know I just made my Earth Lady kind of a curvier, thicker girl. But I want Mars to also feel powerful. So I'll probably do some more muscles and stuff on her than the other ones have had. She's going to have probably a little similar feel to our Sun Girl. And the other thing I've been playing with on these has been, it's called asymmetry. Something that's symmetrical is the same on both sides. So things like the designs, this is symmetrical. One side is the same on the other. One side's the same on the other. One side's the same on the other. The Mars symbol, it's not. Mars symbol is asymmetrical. One side is not the same as the other. If you turned the symbol, if you, instead of having it on this diagonal, if you had it like straight up and down or going this way, that would be symmetrical. One side is the same as the other. But by putting it on a diagonal, yeah, it's symmetrical this way, but in the normal ways that you'd look for symmetry, top to bottom, left to right, it's not there. Throws things off just a little bit. Putting that back up for reference, thank you. Okay. So I'm going to give her a very symmetrical stance right now. She is got one side mirroring the other pretty well. So I'm going to try my best to get everything else to feel a little bit different. The only exception is going to be, I did a cool design on those Chinese characters I've been doing before. And one of the girls that I had made had a really sweet mohawk. And I want to do another mohawk. So, hairline normally starts right around here. But I need to keep in mind that she's going to have her crown as well. We're gonna have some fun with it though. We're gonna start off with our usual band. Her repeating symbol is going to be that arrow shape. We won't be too, we're not going to be too subtle about that. Kind of do this repeating triangle idea. Awesome. And we're going to extend this a little bit lower. All of them have some kind of, almost like a crest. We're going to extend this one down a little bit. And then her hairline for the mohawk gets a little wider toward the top. And actually, let's even turn this into a full circle shape. A full circle. Split into the arrow. Yeah, okay, okay. Now, her mohawk is going to be going in a little bit of an up and over direction. We have the crown also go along on either side, kind of framing that mohawk. So far, so good. She's going to have a smirk, which is a one-sided kind of smile. Give her a big hoop earring on one side and on the other. I don't know, let's just do this. That's kind of cool. I don't know what it is yet. Just hanging. Alright. Sorry guys, been doing all this drawing and you can't even see it. Tea break. There you go. Okay. Got a basic body outline going. Take out some of the extra. All those guidelines that I like to make, stick figure-esque. All right, so keeping in mind our asymmetrical idea, we're going to give her kind of a single shoulder deal going on. That's gonna go to, yeah, let's put in kind of a low belt idea. We're gonna add some little extra strappies happening, I think. Who knows what they're good for? They're just cool things hanging off part of her belt. Which that's going to have more of our triangle design on that we'll get to later. Now, since Mars and Venus have always had kind of a pair up, in mythology, Mars and Venus, who are, their Greek versions are Aphrodite and Ares. The two of them are lovers. They do have affairs. Ooh, dangerous. And they've kind of become the traditional idea for like men and women. You might have heard there's a book that was popular years ago, but people still will refer back to it. The men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So I want the two of them to have a similar kind of look. We're just not going to go too far with it. So where Venus had this kind of flowy outfit, I'm going to give Mars a little bit of that. Venus had a very long dress, though. Mars is going to have something a little bit shorter. Something a little more on the spunky side. That's looking good. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. Instead of trying to do like hands on hips, like fingers holding on to, we're going to do fist on hips. This is a good compromise for you guys who are having trouble drawing hands. But instead of really hiding them, they're not exact. It's not exactly hiding. It's kind of hiding, but you know, you can still make it work. So, power stance, fists on hips. We're going to keep a lot of that curve. Just going to have some muscles. Ooh, a little story time. So this morning, I heard Wiley outside, and he gave a little bark. And it wasn't his normal bark. It was not the, there's a stranger way across the street and I see him and I'm warning you that there's a stranger over there. It was a little more of an excited bark. I look outside and he is in our backyard staring straight up toward the house. And Wesker, the other dog who had not barked, he was sitting also mostly at attention, looking up toward the house now and then. So I'm like, okay, something's on the house. And I go peek outside and there is a squirrel up on the second floor, right on the corner of the roof. Tail just going crazy. and he is looking towards the tree like he is about to do something really stupid. Like he is going to try and jump off of the roof and land on the tree branches. Now it's probably, the branches were pretty small. They were maybe only like, 2 feet away from the house. So definitely a distance a squirrel could jump, but it was not a very strong branch, and it was a big, fat squirrel. And I'm like, squirrel, if you jump, you better jump as far as you can, reach the best branch you can get to, and just, I'm gonna hope that you hold on, because if you fall down here, you're gonna get eated. My boys are killers. They will go after animals in the yard, and they have gotten animals in the yard, both of them now. Sometimes it's hard to tell who managed to do the deed, but the deed will be done. And I'm watching for a couple, like, it's like 2 minutes this standoff is going on with the dogs down low watching him, and the squirrel just clearly trying to hype himself up for the jump. And he finally just, woo, flying leap. Wiley almost lost his mind, made it into the branches, did not fall. Good for their sake, and for my heart's sake, that I didn't have to go and wrestle a squirrel away from a dog. And it's pretty much been up in the tree the whole time since, just hanging out, making angry noises, eating seeds. She's looking cool. Okay, I think for our arm here, 2 of our characters now, our moon character and our Mercury character, they both had kind of tattoo designs. So I want to do something like that on our tough lady here. Try to do a modified version of her symbol. So not exactly a circle and a spear, but something pretty close. Similar. And let's actually, on this arm, I'm going to give her like a bracer. And when you're drawing stuff on, especially on arms and legs, you want to consider kind of the roundness of what you're drawing on, because you don't want to do something that's necessarily just going straight across. You want to add a bit of a curve, at least, to give it the impression that it's going around something, because some of you have gotten this lesson, some of you haven't. So brief pit stop for those of you that haven't done this before. When you're drawing something round, like a cylinder, things like cups, bowls, stuff like that, you don't want to draw something that looks too flat. Like I'll see a lot of students will start off trying to draw like a cup to look like this, because in their minds it's a round object, it has straight sides, and it sits flat on the table, so it has a flat bottom. When you want to draw something rounded, you want to draw the top more of an oval shape, still have the sides, and then the bottom is also going to be a bit rounded. Now we know it's sitting flat on the table, but when you actually look at something sitting on the table, especially a cup, it will look like it's rounded. If you trace it out with your finger in front of you, it is a rounded shape. Straw. But if you have a rounded shape, you can't just go and draw like stripes going straight across it. That would look weird. If you're going to add something like that, they also need to be rounded, the same way the cup is. So if you're drawing like an arm, it needs to be a little bit rounded if you're putting something around the arm. Bracelets, armor, it's going to have a little bit of a curve to it as well. She's looking pretty tough so far. Let's give her... She need any jewelry? I don't know if she needs much more jewelry. I kind of like where she's at. Let's leave it for now. We'll come back to it if we feel like. We'll come back to it. I do want to put another... Let's put another circle shape on this side. Kind of like as her crown, but we're just going to make that one a cool little circle design. Now I'm drawing the wrinkle lines right through the belt. I'll erase them later, but this way I can make sure that they're consistent from one to the other. We'll even sneak a few more in just to make sure it looks like belts are actually happening. And this is a little fun detail here. You might expect the skirt to end with the belt or go below this one belt, but I want the skirt to end just above it. Just to add something kind of cool and different. Alright, I'm going to scoot this a little bit so you guys can see the bottom now. Down into the legs. I'm going to widen out the knees a little bit. Don't want them to be too skinny. Dog's crashing around upstairs again. So the dog, especially Wesker, he is an old man, but he has not yet figured this out. If he is looking out the front window and he sees something like a squirrel, if that squirrel gets out of sight, or even looks like it is moving across the street or into the neighbor's yard, he will go tearing to the back door and start begging to be let out, as if going out that back door will lead him to the exact same place as where that squirrel is. Now granted, if the squirrel goes around the side of the house, that would bring him to the backyard, but Wesker will go running out in the back and look around like, where is it? It's all the outside to him. Now comes the fun part. The feet. As you are aware, I am on a mission of having everybody barefoot, apparently. All these ladies are going to have their toes showing. But it's something I've been meaning on working on anyway, so this is our practice. Alright, one down. It's tough because you gotta remember there's the heel, there's the, it's kind of like this part on your foot, the part right before you get to the toes. It's kind of like the meat of your foot. And then you've got the toe after that. It's a lot more to our feet than people tend to draw. Okay. Now we're going to continue our non-symmetry. We also have to consider where our fringe is going to go, because everything is having they've all had some kind of a fringe on them as well. So on Venus, if we're matching, it was on her skirt. But I think I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. Let's get get our detail on here. So again, rounded shapes and rounded legs. We'll do 3 seems good. We'll do 2, and then this last one will have a little cover almost. So not like an actual shoe, just a little extra cover there. And then we'll see if we like this or not. I'm thinking of some kind of a, not like a knee pad, but more like a little bit of armor on her knee. How do we like that? Yeah. Too much. We'll just give her a little band on her leg here. Just a little single one. Good. She's not going to have quite the same idea. Like, she's not going to have like too many bangly types. Everything is going to feel like very strappy. But we're still going to need something to add that fringe to. Tea break, sorry. I didn't warn you. Let's see. Most of the others have had it on. So we've had some on armbands, we've had some on skirts, on tops, necklaces. Wouldn't be bad on her neck then. Let's see how we like that. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yep, that's good. That'll be fine. She doesn't need to have too much. Some of them have quite a bit. Some of them only have a little bit. Kind of like that. I was actually, sorry, I did it again, you guys. Drawing without you seeing. I added these bands here. My camera's on a delay, so between the actual camera, which I can't see the top of because it's so high up right now, and my computer. So I added the bands and some little string ideas there. I like it. I'm looking at this earring. I don't know about it. It's fine. We're going to leave it for now. Not everything has to have super intense symbolism. As much as I love that. So now, we'll start the outlining process. It's probably been the nicest part about the whole quarantine issue for me has been this chance to not only do the streaming, which has been something I've thought of before, and just it was never there's never a good real case to. I'll move you a little closer. But also just to have the chance to do some of my own artwork. So I know that there's been a lot of things that have been difficult, and it's difficult to be on social media sometimes just because there's so much different stuff going on and all sorts of people saying all sorts of different stuff. But I hope that everybody's still at least knowing that they need to keep themselves safe. You need to wash your hands. You need to take all these warnings very seriously. But at the same time, don't linger too much on the nightmarish parts, okay? Make sure that you have the chance to get away from Twitter, get away from Instagram and all of that, and do something. Make something, create something for yourself. I mean, even if you're just making something to add to your own Instagram or your own Twitter. Just get out there and create a little bit. Do something fun for yourself. I mean, I even saw a kid made a video because she was bored where she she took her stuffed animal, threw it across the yard, went and got it. And that was the whole video. Was here's my stuffed animal, I'm throwing it across the yard, and then I'm gonna go get it. And that's exactly what she did. Now, I wasn't looking for a video like that, obviously, but it just, it popped up in my search for sound effects, for other purposes. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Who would do that? But then it was also like, well, I mean, she got some amusement out of it. Sure. Just kind of shows just how bored we all are. But finding this time for me, at least, to be able to do some cool artwork, that has been great. Not only just being able to start some stuff, but being able to finish it. Which I think is why I like doing these drawings, especially on the stream. If you have something like this where you have like a series of things you want to create, doing it on the stream has some nice accountability. Like I can't just put them aside because people are looking for the next one. What's tough is there's some of the characters I have ideas for, and there's some that I have no clue. No idea. So as we get further along, we'll see. I like how this one's coming out though. I think I intended for her face to come out a little bit tougher, but I'm not minding this look either. It's more of that fun kind of a contradiction still. She's a tough girl, but she's kind of got a bit of a baby face. She looks sweet, but don't mess with her. Yeah. You can tell she kicks butt. We'll get to those in a sec. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Switch the pen. This kind of fringe is not normally something that I do. It was something that my artist friend did on the design I commissioned. And it looked cool, and I was like, okay, let's run with it. I had started to do a little more work on my carving piece yesterday, but my camera battery died, so I had to recharge it. So I didn't get as much done on that yesterday as I had wanted to. But hopefully I'll have some time to work on that tonight. I feel like I want to keep talking about, but I know that I'm not going to have that as a video to be able to put up for you guys for a while, because it's such a big piece. And some parts have like a ton of detail. And you guys know how I feel about adding lots of detail. So it's going to be a lot, and it's going to take up a lot. Be a long video by the time it's done. I'll try to bring it down for you guys one day so you can kind of see where it's at the moment. They say it's nice out now, but that by tonight we're going to get some rain, Possibly a thunderstorm. Wouldn't that be nice? I love a thunderstorm. Sometimes at school, especially if it's just a kind of a chiller day and I'm just doing like work, especially at lunch, I'll put on like thunder sound effects. Not quite sound effects, but you know, like just rain noises. Relaxating thunderstorm. Relaxating, that's not a word. Relaxing thunderstorm sounds. Especially if it's a day where it's raining outside and it's too cold to like have the window open so you can hear it. It'll be raining outside and I'll put on rain sound effects inside. Which I know sounds like a horrible thing. It's like, enjoy your nature, right? But if it's freezing outside, if it's like 40 degrees outside and raining, I'm not going to leave a window open to hear it. Or if it's like a cloudy day and they were saying we might get a storm and then we don't get any kind of rain, it's just kind of clouds and maybe a sprinkle. It's like I'll put the thunderstorm sounds on in defiance. He didn't make a storm for me today. I will make my own storm. She's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna go back and do the details in all these straps later. The pencil's getting blurry enough as it is, just from my hand smearing it. So I want to get that part done. And then I can go back and erase away some of the pencil and add detailing. Cool, 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 cool. Scoot you guys a bit so you can see the feet. I try to do a far away shot when I'm sketching for you guys because the sketching tends to go quicker, but then there's more of a chance I'm gonna not catch that I'm going off the screen. It's a little easier when it's close up because I can actually see my screen on my camera, so I can adjust it and not have to wait for my computer to catch up. It's doing a lot better now that I've gotten the Wi-Fi extender. Not nearly so many interruptions. The delay is only a few seconds. foot pad. Got a little ankle bone. Toenails, toenails. Toenails for torturing myself. Okay. So we're going to start back at the top again. This pen dries pretty quickly, but even so, I don't like to try and erase over it right away. Like an area that I just finished, I don't want to go right over, so start at the top and work our way back down. I think what I'm going to do, I don't want to outline. How much can I clean up? It's gotten so smeared around here that I need to do erasing, but I don't want to outline her tattoo. How light can I erase? That's pretty good. That's good. I want to erase it enough that it won't bother, it won't smear anymore. You guys probably can't even see it hardly. It's just barely there. I can just barely see it. So it won't get lost when I start coloring. Scoot. She actually kind of reminds me a little more of like an Artemis character. Artemis was the Greek goddess of hunting. So she was usually shown as like a younger lady. Usually with a bow and arrow, though. No bow and arrow here. No weapons. Okay. Back it up a little bit. See if we can get the whole thing in there. Pretty close, pretty close. There she is. So that means that tomorrow we'll be able to start coloring, and considering the speed of which these have been going, we're kind of right on track. We're actually a little bit ahead on her. Most of them have taken a little extra time. She still needs to add some detailing. I'm going to use our Micron pens to do some detailing tomorrow, but that shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Do a little thicker line work, and then we'll be able to start coloring and hopefully be done by Friday. That'd be pretty great. So let me spin you back around here for a second. Whoosh. Stay upright, please. See if I got it. Waiting on that camera delay, but it should be good. So, I'm going to keep working on this tomorrow. You guys are going to keep working on your circles if you haven't done them yet. Just as a reminder, tomorrow I do have another staff meeting. It's going to be a little bit early. I believe it starts at 9:30. So as soon as that's done, I will come on and do the stream. So I'll say goodbye to other teachers, and then I'll pop on and say hi to you. So I don't know how long that meeting will go. The last one was about 40 minutes, I think, yesterday. That's how long it took. So it might be about that long, might be longer, might be shorter. That would be great. And then we'll be here. We'll stream for another hour, and Friday should be just normal. So Keep working on your circles. Remember, those are due by Friday. If you are stuck on anything or you have any questions, please reach out. If you've been looking on MyStar and noticed that a lot of your work might be missing, you can still turn that in. If you're having trouble getting any of the materials, please let me know. I've had a lot of talk recently about the animal sculpture that was 2 weeks ago. And if you're still having trouble with that, please let me know and I can help you out. Maybe I'll post another video depending on what you guys say you do have available. A lot of people said that they don't keep their toilet paper rolls, so they don't have them. But if you have some other supplies, I can help you out with making something from that. So just let me know. Please ask questions, pop on and say hi, anything. Otherwise, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you have to go out, try to stay home if you can. And I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.